I killed Nathan Hale. I had no choice. He was becoming one of them. He could have stopped me, but I think he wanted to die. At least that's what I keep telling myself.
Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, bringing you to the next section of my Resistance 3 Superhuman difficulty video walkthrough. And this is Chapter 4, Women and Children First. And the first thing you're going to notice on this level is the awesome particle effects that this engine has when it comes to the weather. Look at the shit in the air, it just looks amazing. And I wasn't really that wowed by Killzone 3. Don't get me wrong, the game looked fucking lovely, but it didn't wow me because the second one was so good. But some of the effects on this game, you know, the subtle lighting, some of the vistas, some of the environments, I think they look really, really nice, and it doesn't get the credit it deserves. But this guy's going to give you a marksman, and this is a fantastic gun, so I would definitely say use it, because it hits people with high damage and it hits them at quite the distance. And you will upgrade it and get a scope so it doesn't look like this ridiculous lawnmower that I've got in my hands right now. But this section as well is going to introduce you to the long leg enemy, which are a tough enemy, and this is probably the hardest level so far, so get ready for an interesting ride. But the first thing I like to do is I run all the way up into this warehouse and I climb up onto the top of this. And when the dropships come in, do not go out in the open, because somebody at fucking Insomniac's been playing Halo and they thought that it was a great idea, so now the gunships shoot at you when they're dropping troops off. And it stops you from being able to spawn kill them, which is a shame, but at the same time I suppose it makes it a little bit more fair. So as soon as they've left, you can start popping out and killing people with your bullseye. The reason I'm using my bullseye is because I wanted that to happen. So I now have exploding rounds, level 2. And be careful here when you go to your left to try and get a better vantage point. You'll notice just then I picked up a health pack when I should have probably saved it, and that was completely accidental. I'm all in the zone right now trying to shoot dudes. And just be aware, if you see bullets coming out the end of the Chimera's gun, one of them's probably going to hit you, because they are so accurate. I can't even get across how accurate these enemies are. And this is a game where you will die so quickly if you let it, or if you're not paying attention, that one enemy can feasibly kill you. So you always need to be thinking about the next piece of cover, or if you can kill him before he kills you kind of mentality. But what's going to happen here is there's one guy that got stuck on opposite side of that cover and he's not moving, and he wouldn't for some reason come out, so I had to wait for him. But another spawn's going to happen. There's going to be a bunch of what have you, a bunch of Chimera, and then the long legs are going to turn up, and the long legs can actually get in the room that I'm in, and I didn't know this because when I played on difficult, which was my first playthrough, they never did it. But on this, they hop onto the roof of this tin hut I'm on and start fucking me up. So this spot goes from being a fantastic spot to not quite a nice spot. And always, if you have your auger and you're not too plussed about using it, this is a fantastic, you know, section for the gun, because you can see through the roof, you will not take any damage, you can rate people from a distance. But right here, I'm trying to use my explosive magnum to kill them as they spawn, and I'm probably going to throw a grenade because there's a lot of Chimera. That's another thing that's changed as well that I've not mentioned, because there's probably a few of you playing or listening to this that have played the old game, so you'll know exactly what I'm on about, but there's a few that won't. So the hedgehog grenade is now a hedgehog mine. And before, the grenade itself, you threw it and it was just like a nail bomb. It exploded outwards with a bunch of steel pinions that stuck into people and killed them. Super cool grenade. Now, it doesn't have that feature. Now it's a proximity mine that does the same thing. And don't do what I just did then. I didn't know he was that close and I just automatically melee. It's not a good strategy. But don't do this either. You never want to play like it's Call of Duty, because you'll just die. Always, if you're going to two-piece them, always shoot first and then stab, because a lot of the times they'll punch you first, and if they punch you they do a lot of damage. But this is the new enemy anyhow. They're known as long legs. They take about 3 marksman shots, 2 to the face, and they're very, very agile. They do a lot of damage and they're very accurate. And one strategy is to tag them with with the explosive magnum. It takes 2 shots, so if you just hit them with 1, you're not going to take them down. I clicked on just then that it takes 2. Another good strategy is to tag them with the bullseye so that the bullets can find them. And then the old faithful is to just shoot the face off with the marksman. But right then, he's on the roof, and I didn't know people could do that. So from now on, you'll notice I turn into full-on bitch mode, full-on pussy mode, because I really do not want to die. And there's a couple on this roof queuing up, which is dead simple, but if you notice to my right I'm getting shot again, and you can see them through the roof slats, and I didn't know they could get on this roof. I never even experienced it. So they took me by surprise, and I missed with my Magnum. That was horrific. But I get that guy. And he's up there again, and if you stay really down in the cover of the corner using the auger, I don't think that guy can get any shots off on you. So if you use the auger here, you won't have any problems, but the weapons do keep on this game. It's not like Resistance 2 where you got fresh ones each level. So the ammo count that you take into the next level is the ammo count that you're going to have for that level. And I do not believe in rationing any of the guns because they all have their uses, and you will find ammo if you look for it. But at the same time, you don't want to get caught with your pants down, because there's a section towards the end of the game, and I'm just going to do a little bit of word of warning for anybody playing through. If you can see snow, you are in the hardest part of the game, because the snowy section to this game is one giant shootout after another, and every single one of them is completely unbalanced against you, and they're very challenging. I'm looking forward to recording them because I know they're going to get a lot of views, because they're hard. They're legitimately difficult. But you just hit the checkpoint, and a bit of ammo, a bit of life. This is the last section to the level and the most challenging. And at the first there's going to be a bunch of normal Chimera and Grunt guys, and there's also going to be some of the long legs. And you'll notice I start using the auger a little bit. You can save the auger and just use your grenades, because a bunch of these enemies are spaced together, but I decide to snipe them through the wall. And what will happen is if you move out of this room, the door will shut and you can't get back in it, so utilise this cover as best you can to clear out the numbers. And just be careful, because if the Chimera flank you, and they do flank you on this section when you move out of this building, you will die so quickly. It's like an instant checkpoint, an instant reload, sorry, because there's not a lot you can do sometimes, you die so fast. But as soon as you think you've cleared enough out, and the dropship starts pulling up, you want to move out of the room. There is a lot of life in this room that we're going out into this little street area. The only problem is it's spaced around, and you have to risk taking damage and being killed to get to it. So I hide behind the car so that the dropship can't shoot me, because it will. There it is, there it starts, and you'll notice I'm thinking I could probably kill these on spawn. No, I can't, because it starts bloody shooting me, doesn't it? So there it is, perched over that little middle building, which you're going to be using as cover. And as soon as it's finished dropping them off, you can now go and kick some ass. So there's going to be a combination of Chimera and the long legs. And if you use this building here, this building is fantastic cover to clean them up. Don't proceed any closer though, because as you notice, they're very quick to shoot you. They do a lot of damage, and if you're close, everything is amplified, and you want to avoid it. So it's a little bit barren out here at this moment in time. We must have cleaned them up pretty well, so just pick off the ones that are left. And a cutscene, there's a bunch more of the long legs. This is when it could get a little bit more challenging. I would definitely say do not go on top of the thing. I didn't, and I wouldn't ask you to do it, because it's probably suicide. And the old fateful task here is to pull out the auger and start cleaning people up from a distance. That is a steelhead right there. You need to prioritise him, because he's going to start shooting back, and his bullets will go through this fucking cover. Here they come. You need to move. But the best thing about him is your auger will go through his shield, so it's kind of like, tit for toe. Two guys in a pissing contest. But if you can prioritise the enemies that do the most damage first and kill them, you shouldn't have any problems with these kind of sections. And you'll know that you finished this area because you'll trigger a cutscene and a brute, or I don't actually know what they're called. He's a giant ape, and in the old Resistances it used to be a giant golem type guy that carried a big gun who walked around looking ugly, but he's not in this game. They've got rid of him for this thing, and this thing can be easy and this thing can be hard. Do you notice how it's wearing armour? It kind of looks like the Juggernaut from the Marvel comics. You have to destroy every piece of his armour before he dies, which doesn't make any sense to me, because you think you could just shoot him in the cock and he'd fall down, but yeah, he knocks you as well, as you just saw. That was a bit sloppy. But the middle building we were using for cover, you can use for cover against this guy, and it's just a case of shooting his armour till it glows and then till it blows up. And if you're wondering why you're not stunning him, it's because you're not shooting the armour. If you shoot him in his body, he'll just laugh at you. But if you keep slowly circling around this building, he can't throw any cars at you, he can't jump at you, he can't do any of his cheesy moves. There he goes, picking up a car. That will hurt, but I think I kill him before he does anything. So as soon as his armor's gone, if you see him groping himself and looking at a lump, That means he's died. There he goes. And then I punch him in the balls just for good riddance. But that is effectively the end of Chapter 4, the most difficult chapter so far. If you struggled with it, it's kind of understandable because it is a lot more difficult than the last ones, but you're going to have to seriously start working on your game because the chapters coming up will kick your ass. But luckily enough, I will have videos telling you the best way to cheese them and get through without any problems. So run around the area, pick up as much stuff as you can, grab the ammo, grab the life. It will pay off in later levels if you can go in as kitted up as possible and run towards the waypoint. So as always guys, thanks for watching, I hope it's helping, and you take care now.